How you doing, guys? Another video today from me. As you can probably see by the title, it's about single player games, but it's really just a thought-provoking sort of process for me, a brainstorming session as to why single player games are such a struggle for me to sort of get into and play. Mainly open world RPG style games, games that we all I mean, most gamers when they were kids used to play things like Elder Scrolls and these big open world games that we all sort of love. Why are they such a struggle to play these days as an adult? Like, why is it so hard to sit down and stick to them? Let me know if you guys experience that too. I could be the only one here out in the boat by myself, but for me, I can't sit down and dedicate the time needed to get the satisfaction out of these games and to sit there and keep playing these repetitive gameplay loops. I think it comes down to a couple key factors. I'll go through a couple of them. Obviously, the first one, the most obvious one, as you grow up, you get more responsibilities as an adult. You have to work. So the amount of time you can put into gaming sort of reduces, I guess. For me, it's like half an hour to an hour every 2 to 3 days, if that, with the amount of time lately that I can really dedicate into a lot of these games and gaming in general. Even though I grew up on gaming and I love it that much, I wish I could do it way more than that. Unfortunately, you have to adult. But I feel like the way a lot of these open world games are designed too, that they're not really designed for short sessions, obviously. You don't get much out of a half an hour session on Crimson Desert, for example. Like, you've got to dedicate with the size of that game hours and hours and hours per session to sort of get anywhere. And you put down your controller after half an hour and you go back to it in 3 days. You sort of spend half an hour figuring out what you've actually got to do and where you are again because you sort of forget. I think that's a big factor. I think coming on to the second factor would be, I guess, the TikTokification of the world and the social media sort of uh, bubble that we live in now and how it's sort of affected our brains with having phones on us all the time. Can't say for sure, but I feel like this has something to do with sort of attention span, obviously, and gaming, and how much gratification you get out of short bouts of these games. Like I said before, they're not really they're designed for like extreme delayed gratification. Like, you need to spend hours and hours to get something good to use in the game, which is cool. That's not a slight or a knock on any of these games or the way they're designed. Like, I think that's actually really awesome. I'm sort of envious of people who can dedicate their hours into this because I sort of love the look of a lot of these games and struggle to actually execute spending time on them. But I feel like that has a lot to do with it for me anyway. Let me know in the comments what you guys think if that's a factor. And I think, I guess the third factor that comes into it for me is the sort of live service era we're in now with gaming over the last 10 years, if not more now, where these games have popped up. Like, we got Fortnite, PUBG, all of these styles of games, and they sort of revolved around, once again, these instant gratifications. Like, I mean, taking Fortnite, for example, it sort of seems, like you're half gambling in the game. Not gambling, but you get into a game, you're running around, you're looking for chests, golden chests that glow and make noise, and you get this big, there's satisfaction to opening them and what are you going to get from them and sort of, rolling the dice with what you can get from them. They're not paid, they're in-game items, but they sort of have that effect on you and that, I guess, that dopamine hit, if that's what you'd call it. And that sort of design of game now that has sort of captured a large audience of people, which is, I think it's probably, it's definitely separated the player base because there's people now that do not play single player games that are just multiplayer uh, gamers. You know what I mean? They play CS, they play uh, PUBG, they're playing Rainbow Six, they're playing Apex. And I guess it's sort of separated the player base in such a way that now there's a, I guess there's a big separation, and then you have single player gamers. And I know there's a lot of them out there and a lot of people that can play and uh, do play these games and dedicate a lot of hours to it. But yeah, and I guess with that, with the live service aspect, with multiplayer gaming, I think for me, another point, it sort of comes down to like perceived community as well. I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I get this feeling when I'm sitting in a single player game, spending hours and hours just going through it, I guess, that it sort of can feel a bit like a waste of time to me. And I don't know what that is because you could say gaming in general is a waste of time. A lot of people think that. I don't. I think any hobby is worth spending time on if you're happy, if you get happiness from it and you love doing it. I don't think anyone should be able to say that gaming is a waste of time because anything could be a waste of time. You can apply that to anything, any interest, any hobbies. But for me, it feels like a bit of a waste of time sometimes playing single player games. And like I was saying, the perceived community of not sharing that experience with people online, not having that end to end connection. And when I think about that and I dissect that, does that make sense to me? I mean, I don't sit there on these online games and talk on the microphone to people, random people all the time. I sort of sit there most of the time with my microphone off, but I feel like that is a factor to it. Other than that, live service games, you do not need to dedicate a lot of time. You will go into them. You will, play half an hour and you can get a lot out of them. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd really like to see if I'm alone on this one. If not, let me know what you guys think are influencing factors. Like, subscribe. I'm doing daily videos, more content, more news, gaming news coming up with Sony State of Play. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.